Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with a cramp so sharp it felt like a lightning bolt in your calf? Or perhaps you've spent a long afternoon in the garden only to find your head spinning and your energy completely drained. We often call this getting older, or we blame it on a poor night's sleep. But there is a hidden quiet ailment that affects millions of us in our golden years without us ever realizing it. It is a deep, cellular thirst that plain water sometimes cannot quench. In our modern world, we are told to reach for those neon-colored sports drinks filled with artificial dyes and processed sugars to fix our fatigue. But long before those plastic bottles existed, the Creator placed a pharmacy of hydration within the very soil of the Holy Land. There is a profound difference between a modern chemical fix and the ancient, God-given solutions that were designed to nourish our temples from the inside out. Today, we are going back to the basics to rediscover how to truly recharge. I'm David, and it is a blessing to spend this time with you today. We are exploring 15 specific biblical foods and drinks that I like to call electrolyte bombs. These aren't just snacks. They are potent, mineral-rich gifts mentioned in the pages of Scripture that can recharge your body almost instantly. If you have been feeling a bit sluggish, or if you find your muscles are weaker than they used to be, these ancient secrets are going to be a breath of fresh air for your health. By the end of our time together, you will have a complete toolkit of natural ways to balance your minerals, sharpen your mind, and restore that spring in your step. We are going to look at everything from the fruits of the promised land to the humble grains that sustain prophets, all while seeing how modern science is finally catching up to what the Bible has said for thousands of years. Now, I want you to stay with me all the way to the very end, because item number 15 is something most people throw away, yet it contains the most powerful concentration of life-giving minerals of them all. Before we dive into our countdown, I must remind you that while I have spent years studying these biblical truths and their health benefits, I am a brother in Christ and a researcher, not your medical doctor. Always talk with your healthcare provider before making big changes to your diet, especially if you are managing specific conditions or taking medications. Our goal here is to support the body God gave us using the wisdom He provided in His Word. Let's begin this journey together, looking at the first of our 15 electrolyte powerhouses that can transform how you feel every single day. First on our list is the magnificent pomegranate. This fruit is one of the 7 species mentioned in Deuteronomy as a blessing of the promised land. If you look at a pomegranate, it is a work of art, often said to contain 613 seeds, mirroring the laws of the Torah. But beyond the symbolism, it is a powerhouse of potassium. Potassium is the master electrolyte that manages the electrical signals in your heart and helps your muscles contract. When we age, our potassium levels can dip, leading to that heavy, tired feeling in our limbs. The pomegranate contains a unique compound called punicalagin, which acts as a potent antioxidant, protecting your blood vessels while the potassium flows into your system. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition actually found that pomegranate juice can help reduce oxidative stress and improve blood flow in as little as 2 weeks. I remember a few years back, I started drinking just a small glass of diluted pomegranate juice every morning after my prayer time, and the clarity I felt was remarkable. Just be careful if you are on blood thinners, as it can be quite potent. To use this, I recommend mixing 4 ounces of pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice with 8 ounces of cool water. It creates a refreshing, tart tonic that wakes up your cells without the sugar crash of modern sodas. It is a literal taste of the abundance God promised to His people. Second, we must talk about the very thing Jesus called us to be, salt. Specifically, we are looking at unprocessed sea salt or ancient mountain salts. In the ancient world, salt was so valuable it was used as currency, and in the Bible, it was a requirement for every grain offering. We have been told for years that salt is the enemy, but our bodies are essentially salty engines. Sodium is the electrolyte that maintains the fluid balance outside our cells. Without it, your brain can't send signals to your muscles. The key is moving away from the bleached, chemically treated table salt and returning to the salt of the earth. Natural sea salt contains over 80 trace minerals, including magnesium and calcium, which work in harmony with the sodium. Think of it like a symphony. Table salt is just one loud note, but sea salt is the whole orchestra. A pinch of high-quality sea salt in a liter of water can prevent the dizziness many seniors feel when they stand up too quickly. A study in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition highlights how sodium is the primary driver for water absorption in the gut. If you're just drinking plain water all day and still feel thirsty, you might be flushing your minerals out. Try adding a tiny pinch of gray or pink salt to your water bottle. It shouldn't taste like the ocean. It should just taste soft. It's a simple way to honor the way God designed our internal chemistry. Third, we find the humble date. The date palm is a recurring image of righteousness and flourishing in the Psalms. These honey fruits were the primary source of quick energy for travelers crossing the scorching Judean wilderness. When you are feeling that afternoon slump, your body isn't just asking for sugar. It's asking for a balance of glucose and minerals. Dates are incredibly rich in magnesium and potassium. Magnesium is often called the spark plug of the body because it's involved in over 300 biochemical reactions, including energy production. The beauty of the date is its fiber content, which slows down the absorption of its natural sugars, providing a steady release of electrolytes into your bloodstream. One active compound in dates, known as beta-glucan, helps support heart health, while the minerals go to work on your nervous system. I often keep 2 or 3 dates in my pocket when I'm out for a long walk or working in the church woodshop. It's a natural energy gel that God grew on a tree. Scientists have observed that the specific ratio of minerals in dates helps prevent the rapid electrolyte depletion that happens during physical exertion. If you find yourself prone to muscle twitches or anxiety, a day-to-day might be just what the great physician ordered. Just remember, they are nature's candy. So enjoy them in moderation to keep your blood sugar in a healthy range. Fourth, we turn to the fig. In the second book of Kings, we see the prophet Isaiah using a cake of figs to help heal King Hezekiah. Figs are one of the most mineral-dense fruits in the entire Bible. They are particularly high in calcium, which we often only associate with bones. But calcium is also a vital electrolyte responsible for blood clotting and nerve transmission. When your calcium to magnesium ratio is off, you might feel irritable or experience brain fog. Figs provide a beautiful balance of both. They contain a proteolytic enzyme called physin, which helps your body digest proteins more efficiently, ensuring that the minerals you eat actually get absorbed into your system. There was a fascinating study in the Journal of Food Science and Technology that highlighted the high mineral bioavailability in dried figs compared to many other fruits. I like to slice a fresh fig or soak a dried one in water overnight. The water becomes a mineral-rich infusion that is very gentle on the stomach. If you've struggled with digestive issues that leave you feeling depleted, the fig is a gentle restorer. It's a reminder that God's medicine is often sweet and pleasant. Just be mindful if you have kidney concerns, as figs are high in oxalates, but for most of us, they are a perfect way to keep our internal electrical system humming along beautifully. Fifth is barley water. Barley was the poor man's grain in the Bible, the first harvest celebrated during the Feast of First Fruits. While we often think of it only as a bread ingredient, ancient people used barley to create a cooling, hydrating drink. Barley is rich in B vitamins and selenium, but its real power as an electrolyte bomb comes from its ability to regulate the body's temperature and fluid retention. It contains a soluble fiber called beta-glucan that helps stabilize blood sugar, which in turn prevents the kidneys from flushing out too much sodium. In the ancient world, reapers in the fields of Boaz would drink fermented or steeped barley water to stay hydrated under the sun. It acts as a natural isotonic drink, meaning it has a similar concentration of salts and sugars as the human body. To make this at home, you simply simmer a half cup of pearled barley in 6 cups of water for about 20 minutes, strain it, and add a squeeze of lemon. It's a soft, silky drink that feels incredibly soothing. I started drinking this during the humid summer months, and I noticed I didn't get those evening headaches anymore. It's a humble grain that teaches us that God provides for our needs in the simplest of ways. Barley water is a gentle, effective way to keep your cells plump and hydrated without any artificial additives. Sixth, we look at goat milk. In Proverbs 27, we are told that goat's milk is enough for our food and the food of our household. For many seniors who find cow's milk difficult to digest, goat's milk is a revelation. It is naturally homogenized and contains smaller fat globules, but more importantly, it is a treasure trove of bioavailable minerals. It is higher in potassium, magnesium, and calcium than cow's milk. These electrolytes are tucked inside a protein structure that the human body can break down much more easily. One active compound, capric acid, provides a quick source of energy for the brain. A study in the Journal of Dairy Science found that the minerals in goat milk are more effectively absorbed by the body, particularly in cases of malabsorption. If you feel like you are eating well but still feel empty or weak, your body might not be absorbing what you're giving it. Goat milk, or a little bit of goat kefir, acts like a delivery truck, bringing those vital electrolytes right where they need to go. I often have a small glass with a dash of cinnamon before bed. It's incredibly grounding and helps prevent those nighttime leg cramps that can be so disruptive to our rest. It's a testament to God's provision through the animals He placed under our care. Seventh is the cucumber. When the Israelites were in the wilderness, they actually complained to Moses, saying they remembered the cucumbers they ate in Egypt. While they were grumbling, they were onto something regarding hydration. The cucumber is 95% water, but it isn't just dead water. It is structured, filtered water packed with silica and potassium. Silica is a trace mineral that is essential for the health of our connective tissues and joints. When we are dehydrated, our joints can feel stiff and creaky, like an old door hinge. The cucumber provides the fluid and the minerals to grease those hinges. It contains a compound called laurisilresinol, which has been studied for its role in supporting cardiovascular health. A study in the journal Phytoterapia noted that cucumber extracts have a significant free radical scavenging effect, which helps reduce the inflammation that often accompanies dehydration. I love to thinly slice a cucumber and let it sit in a pitcher of water in the fridge. It changes the surface tension of the water, making it easier for your cells to pull that hydration in. Whenever I've spent a long morning at a church car wash or a community event, a few slices of cucumber feel like they're bringing my body back to life. It's a humble, cool vegetable that reminds us how God provides refreshment even in the heat of life's deserts. Eighth, we have the watermelon. While the modern seedless watermelon looks a bit different than the ancient varieties found in the Near East, the essence remains the same. Watermelon is a hydration miracle. It contains an amino acid called L-citrulline. Now this is fascinating because L-citrulline helps your body produce nitric oxide, which relaxes your blood vessels and improves circulation. When your blood flows better, your electrolytes move more efficiently to your heart and brain. It's also packed with lycopene and potassium. Think of watermelon as a natural for drip in fruit form. A study from the American Chemical Society showed that drinking watermelon juice can significantly reduce muscle soreness after exercise because of this citrulline electrolyte combination. I remember one particularly hot 4th of July where I felt absolutely wilted. A few cold wedges of watermelon seemed to clear my head and steady my heart rate almost instantly. It's a gift of the earth that provides both the fluid we need and the mineral keys to unlock our cells. Just be sure to eat it away from heavy meals, as it digests very quickly. It's a bright, cheerful reminder of the sweetness of God's creation and His desire for us to be vibrant and full of life. Ninth is the grape, and specifically grape vinegar. In the book of Ruth, Boaz tells her to dip her bread in the vinegar. This wasn't just for flavor. It was a health practice. Grapes are full of polyphenol like resveratrol, but when they are fermented into a natural vinegar or enjoyed as a tart juice, they become an electrolyte balancing tool. The organic acids in grape vinegar help the body absorb minerals like calcium and magnesium from the other foods you're eating. It's like a key that opens the door for nutrition. Potassium is the star here again, helping to regulate blood pressure. A study in the Journal of Biological Chemistry found that the acetic acid in natural vinegars can help improve the way our muscles take up glucose, which prevents that shaky, low battery feeling. I like to make a biblical shrub by mixing a tablespoon of organic grape vinegar with water and a little bit of honey. It's a sharp, refreshing drink that cuts through fatigue. It reminds me of the spies returning from the land of Canaan with clusters of grapes, so large they had to be carried on a pole. God's promise of abundance included the very things that would keep our hearts strong and our steps steady. 10th on our list is raw honey. We know that John the Baptist survived on locusts and wild honey, and King Solomon advised us to eat honey because it is good. Honey is more than just a sweetener. It is a complex biological fluid that contains enzymes, minerals, and a perfect ratio of fructose and glucose. Why does this matter for electrolytes? Because for your body to absorb sodium and water effectively in the small intestine, it often needs a little bit of sugar to pump them across the cell membrane. This is the science behind modern oral rehydration salts, but God invented it first. Raw honey contains potassium, calcium, and phosphorus. It also has a unique compound called pinosembrin, an antioxidant that supports brain health. A study in the journal Molecules highlighted that honey can actually improve hydration status more effectively than plain water in certain conditions. I find that a teaspoon of raw honey in warm water with a pinch of salt is the ultimate recovery drink after a long day of service. It's a reminder that the land flowing with milk and honey was a land designed for peak human health. Just remember to keep it raw and local if possible, to get all those living enzymes that God intended for us to have. 11th, we look at pistachios. These are one of the choice fruits of the land that Jacob sent as a gift to the ruler of Egypt. Pistachios are unique among nuts because they are one of the highest sources of potassium and vitamin B6. B6 is crucial because it helps your body manage the balance of sodium and potassium. If you're feeling a bit puffy or retaining water, you might actually need more of the minerals found in pistachios to help flush that excess out. They also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, which are wonderful for our aging eyes. The healthy fats in pistachios help your body absorb the fat-soluble minerals and vitamins in your diet. A study published in the journal Nutrients found that regular pistachio consumption can help support healthy blood pressure levels, likely due to their high mineral content. I love to keep a small jar of shelled, lightly salted pistachios in my car. They are the perfect snack when I'm feeling a bit faded between meals. They require a bit of work to eat, which slows us down and helps us appreciate the provision. It's a beautiful, green nut that carries the mineral wealth of the ancient hills right into our modern lives. 12th is the almond. Aaron's rod famously budded with almond blossoms, a sign of God's choice and authority. The almond is the first tree to wake up in the spring in Israel, and it can wake up your body, too. Almonds are an incredible source of magnesium. Just a handful provides about 20% of your daily needs. As we've discussed, magnesium is the calming electrolyte. If you suffer from restless legs at night or a racing heart when you're stressed, you might be magnesium deficient. Almonds also provide vitamin E, which protects your cells from the damage that happens when we get dehydrated. The active compound in almonds, amygdalin, has been studied for its various health properties, though the minerals are the real stars here. A study in the Journal of the American Heart Association showed that almonds can help reduce belly fat and improve lipid profiles, but for our purposes, they are a portable electrolyte battery. I find that soaking almonds overnight makes them even easier to digest and increases the availability of their minerals. It's a small, seed-like fruit that reminds us that even when things look dead, like Aaron's rod, God can bring forth life and nourishment. 13th is the lentil. We cannot forget the red stew that Jacob cooked. While Esau gave up his birthright for it, we should definitely keep lentils in our diet for their mineral content. Lentils are a powerhouse of potassium, iron, and folate. Iron is what carries oxygen in your blood, and when it's combined with the electrolytes in lentils, it creates a recipe for sustained energy. They are also very high in fiber, which keeps your gut healthy. A healthy gut is where mineral absorption happens. If your soil isn't good, the seeds of nutrition won't grow. Lentils contain polyphenol that have been shown to have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. A study in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences noted that lentils are among the most nutrient-dense legumes available. I like to make a simple lentil soup with plenty of onions and garlic, which were also staples in the biblical diet. It's a warm, grounding meal that feels like it's filling your tank for the days ahead. It's a humble food that teaches us that true strength doesn't always come from the most expensive or flashy sources, but from the simple things God has provided since the beginning. 14th is the olive and its precious oil. The olive tree is perhaps the most iconic symbol of peace and provision in the Bible. While we know olive oil is good for our hearts, it plays a hidden role in hydration. You see, some electrolytes and vitamins are fat-soluble, meaning they need a little bit of healthy fat to be absorbed by your body. Without healthy fats, you could be eating all the minerals in the world, and they would just pass right through you. Olive oil is rich in oleic acid and a compound called oleocanthal, which works much like a natural anti-inflammatory. A study in the journal Nature found that oleocanthal actually mimics the effect of ibuprofen in the body, but without the side effects. By drizzling a little extra virgin olive oil over your cucumbers or lentils, you are ensuring that your body can actually grab those electrolytes and use them. I make a point to have a tablespoon of high-quality olive oil every day, often just on a piece of whole grain bread with a bit of that sea salt we talked about. It's the oil of gladness that keeps our internal machinery running smoothly and our joints feeling supple. It's a daily reminder of the Holy Spirit's presence, smoothing out the rough edges of our physical health. Finally, we reach number 15, the most powerful and often overlooked electrolyte bomb of them all, apple cider vinegar, or as it was known in the ancient world, sour wine or pasca. This was the drink offered to Jesus on the cross, and while it was a gesture of low status, it was actually a highly effective rehydration drink used by Roman soldiers to stay strong on long marches. This vinegar, especially when it contains the mother, is a living, fermented tonic. It is incredibly rich in potassium and acetic acid. Acetic acid helps your body maintain a proper pH balance, which is essential for electrolyte function. If your body becomes too acidic, your minerals get locked up. Apple cider vinegar acts like a key, releasing those minerals so they can do their work. It also helps stabilize blood sugar levels after a meal, preventing the energy crash that leaves us feeling depleted. A study in the Journal of Functional Foods showed that taking a small amount of vinegar before a meal can significantly improve insulin sensitivity. I take a tablespoon in a large glass of water every morning. It was a game changer for my digestion and my overall energy levels. It's a powerful reminder that even the things that seem bitter or sour in life can be used by God for our ultimate good and healing. Think of it: the deep red pomegranate for your heart, the salt of the earth for your nerves, the sweet date for your energy, and the healing fig for your strength. The cooling barley, the life-giving goat milk, the refreshing cucumber, and the vibrant watermelon. The ancient grape, the golden honey, the hardy pistachio, and the budding almond. The humble lentil, the sacred olive, and the restorative vinegar. Each one is a thread in a beautiful tapestry of health that God has woven for us. When you feel weary, remember that you don't have to turn to the world's artificial fixes. You can return to the garden. You can return to the promised land. These 15 electrolyte bombs are not just food. They are a rhythmic reminder of God's constant care for our physical bodies. They tie the images of the Bible, the pillars of the temple, the oil of a lampstand, the salt of the covenant, directly to the vitality of your blood, the strength of your bones, and the clarity of your mind. You see, healing is rarely a lightning bolt from the sky. More often, it is the slow daily act of nourishing ourselves with the wisdom God has already provided. It is a journey of returning to ancient paths and finding that they are still the best way home. When we choose to hydrate our bodies with the things He grew from the earth, we are making a statement of faith. We are saying that we trust the Creator's design more than a chemist's laboratory. I've seen in my own life how these small changes, a pinch of salt here, a splash of vinegar there, can add up to a life of much greater vigor and joy. We are stewards of these temples, and it is our joy to keep them well tended so we can continue to do the work He has called us to do, whether that's playing with grandchildren, serving in our churches, or simply being a light in our neighborhoods. I encourage you today to pick just one or two of these biblical electrolyte bombs to start with. Maybe it's adding a little sea salt to your water, or trying that barley tea this evening. I'd love to hear which one you're going to try first. So please leave a comment and share your journey with us. If this message was a blessing to you, please share it with a friend who might be feeling a bit tired or worn down. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep exploring God's amazing design for our health together. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May He make His face shine upon you and give you His peace. And may He restore your strength like the eagles. Drink deeply of His Word and His world. Until next time, I'm David, wishing you health and a heart full of hope. Amen.